Hello, everybody. I wanted to talk about the 10 reasons not to move to Maine. Maine is an absolutely beautiful state and has so much to offer, but there are some reasons not to move here. There are many pros, but of course, with all pros come some cons. Maine is beautiful. It's up in New England, so experiences lots of weather, some good, some bad, and that's one of the reasons too. But first, let's get into it. The top 10 reasons not to move to Maine. First would be that it is an older population. Many of the people that live in Maine are retirees, and for some reason, the state cannot hold on to the younger generation. Many will move down to Boston or to other states and cities for jobs. One reason may be Maine itself does not have very high paying jobs. It does have a very low unemployment rate, but the jobs just aren't very high paying. Second would be winter. If you're not willing to embrace the winter with skiing or other activities, winter can be harsh. It can be dark and just long. It comes quickly and it lasts a really long time. There's no real spring in Maine. The transition is just so abrupt. So that's one thing. Another reason would be no metro. You have Portland, but it's just not like Boston or New York. 4 would be traveling. Traveling can be kind of rough in Maine. Your biggest airport is Logan, which is about 60 miles, 90 miles south of, your major hubs of the Portland Jetport. So to go anywhere, if you don't want a layover, you're going to have to go down to Logan or maybe Manchester, New Hampshire. But the Portland Jetport just does not offer the best flights out, being a smaller jetport. Number 5 would be seafood. Seafood, though many people like it, some people don't. It's something to consider. If you're not a big seafood person, Maine may not be the place for you. Many of the restaurants and culinary scene offer seafood. It's the culture in the state, being lobster, oysters, clams, you name it. Many people make a living here as fishermen, lobstermen. So seafood's big, and if you get sick of hearing about seafood, Maine may not be your place. 6 is housing. Housing is expensive in Maine, considering the national average, especially with not many high-paying jobs. When you look at the ratio of what houses go for, they're expensive. Summer, of course, is a pro in Maine, but can also be a con. They don't call Maine vacation land for nothing. The summers are beautiful, great weather, but it's a short summer. As quickly as it comes, it feels like it's gone. Summer basically ends right in September, and you'll feel that fall, crisp air very quickly. Something to consider. Number 8 is cell phone reception. Cell phone reception can be a bit tricky in Maine. So if you're working remote or if you rely on your cell phone for business, for anything, it can be kind of frustrating. And it's not just out in the middle of nowhere where you don't get reception. Even parts of Portland can be rough. So it can be kind of an annoyance. Number 9 is the split of the state. The state is split, with the northern part being more conservative, the southern part being more liberal leaning. Some call it Northern Massachusetts. If you're not a big politics person, or especially listening to aggressive politics, Maine may not be the place for you. It can be quite aggressive, especially during political times and voting. Number 10 would be bugs. Maine is one of those states that just has a lot of bugs, especially in the summer, whether it's black flies, mosquitoes, or the worst, ticks. You have to be super vigilant when hiking or out in the outdoors with ticks. Many do carry Lyme disease, and it can be quite scary to find one on you. Or, better yet, to just have bugs all around you. It's annoying and just something to consider. But Maine is a beautiful state. It has so much to offer, and it really is great. This was not to bash Maine, but just stuff to consider if you're thinking of moving. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you found this helpful. Bye for now.